Pedialyte.
All right. So, Pedialyte. Oh man. Okay. So,
The hangover
welcome-
cure for champs.
Yeah. Right.
Pediacast.
Welcome. Yes. Exactly. I don't think we want to have
That's-
that kind of reputation,
I think it's illegal in all states.
except for Alabama. There's a lot of things that don't seem to be legal in Alabama that really should be. I've noticed in the past year. Well, now I want to talk about Baltimore riots, but I should probably say, hey, welcome to the Eric Tries Too Hard podcast. Today we have on Mike Moran and Ryan Sweeney. We'll have on a couple of other comics as time goes on. I imagine they'll get on. But we're having a rousing discussion about hangovers and Pedialyte, and Ryan seems to think, with very much authority, that if you just drink Pedialyte when you expect to have a hangover, you're not going to have a hangover. Is that...
It's called prep work. It's called, you're going to get trashed, so drink some Pedialyte.
Like, what? How much? Like,
It's not a very catchy catchphrase.
I mean, I'm not in marketing.
You know you're going to get trashed.
Yeah, Ryan. And wait, Ryan, what do you do for a living?
I'm in marketing.
Okay.
I can see why.
Oh man. Yeah.
Have you guys tried the yeast trick? The
What? No, I have not.
The guy from Sam Adams, I forget his name, but it's not Sam Adams, unfortunately. He takes like 3 tablespoons of yeast when he knows he's going to be drinking beer for a long time, and it helps knock away some of the drunkenness.
Where do you look this stuff up? Because you're not a huge. Are you a big drinker?
Sounds like you're pretty familiar with hangover cures.
I'm familiar with hangover cures, but not enough to actually execute them. So it's just speculation, really.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I did trick a friend into mixing Pedialyte with whiskey, and that did not end so well for him.
Ugh. Maybe as a chaser, I can't imagine. That's disgusting.
Pedialyte as a chaser.
Well, yeah, you gotta.
That's disgusting. Maybe as a chaser.
Dude,
but otherwise.
I've definitely in my like Mike when we just did a podcast within the last hour together, and you had talked about drinking a lot in your early 20s or 18 to 21. I didn't start drinking till I was 22, almost 23.
Really?
My first.
Were you Mormon?
No, just straight up like I was a punk rock kid, and you either.
Oh, you're a straight edge kid.
Well, kind of. I was. I don't ever.
You're sitting in the waiting room.
Yeah,
he's more like a dull-edged kid, really.
that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. No, I never. That's what's funny is I never liked 80s hardcore punk, at least except for like Dead Kennedys. But like. No, I was never wanted to associate with those straight edge kids though, because they were always they tended to be religious, which I very much was not. But
really, the punk kids?
Well, the straight edge ones, yeah, a lot of them were.
Really?
Yeah. And then a lot of those turned into just straight up like right now. There's a lot of hardcore and metal like kids who are very religious, and there's one time I saw this band. They were opening up for a band I really liked, and the opening band was this like death metal band, and every song was like this song is called the Serpent's Bite. Go, 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 blood, go, go. This next song is the Serpent's Lair. And then at the end of the set, because I'd never heard of all this like religious metal stuff, at the end of the set, the guy goes, "We don't like to preach, but our real fans know what we're about." And some guy goes in the crowd goes, "Christianity." And I thought it was like, what a good heckle. That's a great joke. And he goes, "You're darn right. Jesus died for our sins, and we celebrate his memory," and blah, blah, blah.
His memory.
They didn't
celebrate our memories of him.
Yeah, you can tell I'm not religious in the way that no one would ever talk that way. But no, I definitely did it was very much like, well, here, okay. Until I drank for the first time at 22, no one had ever just said to me, "Oh yeah, drinking makes you feel good for a little bit, and that's about it." Everyone always said, "Drinking makes you socialize. Drinking takes away all your problems. Drinking,"
right?
And I was like, well, that's never been something I needed. I don't understand why. Whatever. Also,
somebody told you drinking would take away all your problems.
Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
All my friends were colossal, like, fuck ups.
Son, let me tell you how to get rid of all your problems.
Well, and that's another thing. I never really saw my parents drink, so it was never really normalized to me. So it was like, okay. But no, that's the thing with like the punk kids is a lot of them ended up getting addicted to heroin, and then they're obviously not in great places. But I never saw an example of someone who was like, no, this is just fun and it doesn't run my whole life. And so I was like, oh.
Oh, wow.
So when I tried it, so I would drink, so like I drank a bunch between, I guess, 23 and 25 probably, like while I was working kind of a dead-end job before I got into grad school. Those were just, the party years or whatever. And the amount of things, because it was also when I first moved out on my own, and I have no independent living skills. I do now, but like I did not back then. I basically slept on a twin mattress. I wasn't broke by any means. I slept on a twin mattress. The only things in my room were a computer, a lot of magic cards, and
and tons of women.
Yeah, tons. Literally tons. No, it's just one. Weighed 8 tons. No, I'm just kidding. But it was like I had nothing in the house. Like I ate McDonald's like twice a day because I just like that was what was open and near my house. And in those times, I had the weirdest like we were talking about weird chasers. The things that I chased like alcohol with, just out of sheer laziness. There was one time where for Christmas, one of my roommates got me a bunch of peppermint shot glasses. Like they were like candy canes molded into shot glasses, basically. And
really?
So
horrible.
So there was one point where I just like I think all I had was like rum in the house. I put rum in the peppermint shot glass.
Oh, dude!
I'd do the shot. And then I just lick the side of the shot glass.
Wow.
That was yeah. Well, I was in the middle of playing my Heroes drinking game. You guys remember the show Heroes?
Yes. Oh yeah. Every time something sucked, you took a shot.
Yes. Yeah. And by the time I would normally want to throw the remote at the TV, I was too drunk to care.
So did you get trashed when you found out that's coming back?
Oh no, I you know what, I checked into rehab by season 5, so I you know what, I didn't quit drinking, but I quit Heroes, that's for sure. That's definitely it.
That's even more destructive.
Yeah. Well, so I don't know. I think I need to detox in a couple of weeks. Like
do a cleanse.
What?
Because look, I have very low alcohol tolerance, and so like the other day I had 3 glasses of wine. I was like flying, and then like headachy and stuff. I'm also like have no pain tolerance, so any kind of hangover is terrible for me. But
I'm the same way.
I've also just been drinking a lot of caffeine. These are low level stuff like caffeine, Tylenol, and alcohol, and to the point where it's like. Any person with a real addiction would laugh at me, but knowing myself, I need to take like a week-long detox of like none of those things. Let me just reset my body a little bit.
Dude, I think if I did that, and I don't even drink alcohol, I think if I did that, it would change me for like I think I could like catch up on being a human if I just gave up caffeine. And if I gave up caffeine, porn, and like maybe cut back the sugar for a week. I think everything would change. I think I'd become like an uber mensch.
Or just really sad.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a given. I'd be doing that.
You just turn into, is it Eeyore? What's the, who's the whole, hey. Is that?
What?
I think it's Piglet. I think you got to confuse Piglet.
I was going to say, what is that show?
Piglet was the one that Ralph killed with a rock when the conch broke.
Oh my god.
Oh, deep cuts.
Yeah,
represented the end of the fall of society.
Yeah, although I feel like I remember reading books like that, and then there were a couple of Ayn Rand short stories that I had to read in like high school, and those seem to be. And I went to high school from 2000 to 2004. And being a punk rock kid in the midst of post-September 11th patriotism was not the easiest thing to do. But like, rock against Bush, man. But like, we had we would read those stories, and then the whole class would be like, "See, Eric, that's why capitalism is the way to go." And I'd be like, "You can't." And like looking back, I didn't really have a good defense, but now I'm just like. Those fucking straw man stories, like, yeah, of course things don't work when you write what everybody says and does. Like, you can paint whatever dystopian brush you want, assholes.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, so, Mike, what is the most interesting thing in your life right now?
You?
Well, that's a mistake. Well, then you fucked up somewhere. You took a wrong turn.
Yeah, your life would suck, man. I'm sorry.
The most interesting thing in my life, the smartphone, I think. I mean, that's, you know.
All right, well, fine. Okay, I have a different one then. I was like, this is what I wanted to talk to you about a little bit in our one-on-one podcast, but I definitely wanted to bring it up with at least one other person present for witnesses. But like with you perform at the Sidebar open mic.
Yes.
And you know what? Screw it. I'm saving that for later. The second the other comics get here, that's when I want to talk about it because I want to compare open mics. The kind of point being, wow, ADD is kicking in. All right, check it out. We're gonna organize. We'll talk about it now, and then I'll bring it back up to compare. But I've noticed that a lot of I talked to comics from a lot of cities, and no one reports an open mic like the Sidebar open mic, which I've seen you perform at before. And it's kind of an incredible, like, the place is packed with comedians. And by packed, I mean completely packed. Like, it's insane. Have you ever experienced any other open mic scenes like that? And if not, why do you think that scene is the way it is? Why do you think it grew?
I don't know. Sidebar has kind of become the home base for like most Baltimore like kind of alternative comedians and others too, but like just kind of the more kind of slightly punk rock comedy scene. And
Ryan, Sidebar is it's a like practically famous punk rock club in Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's famous because it was in The Wire. It was like the cop bar in The Wire. They still shoot there occasionally. But it's just a little it's just a little like dank basement punk kind of club, and the half of the club that's near the bathrooms smells like the bathrooms, and there's always problems with the sound and stuff. But cheap drinks and really good people, and it's weird because it's like in the middle of nowhere too. Like it's in Baltimore.
Used to not be. It used to there used to be a lot of places around there. It used to be even more dangerous.
There used to be like clubs and there's like nothing by it. Like it's like near the jail and under the highway.
Just where you want to be on a Tuesday night.
Yes. So it's funny that it's actually Monday. It's just even worse. It's funny that this like dank club in the middle of like nowhere Baltimore is packed every Monday, and I don't really know like why it became the hub for the most comedians in Baltimore, and why so many other open mics fail. I've never really like ran an open mic or anything, so I don't really know what goes on behind the scenes so much. But I don't know. I actually wrote a column about it for Brightest Young Things, and I think it's just a friendly atmosphere, that's kind of not elitist, like they're not giving they're giving everybody equal time, and just being really supportive of newcomers, and it's just a friendly, fun atmosphere.
Family friendly.
No, mostly.
They go to the punk shows. Are they at the open mics? Is there kind of a cross community population?
Yeah, its name is Eric Navarro. No.
Yeah, there is a little bit. Like there's kind of like a theater scene in Baltimore that's a little punk rock. There's the Baltimore Rock Opera Society, which I guess would be the most blatant example of that, which is like funny plays.
Porcupine Tree is his favorite band.
They've been extremely successful. Like they're packing like these theaters and stuff, and it's these like funny plays that they put together that have rock songs and
all original stuff, or is it like they?
Yeah, it's all original.
Green Day or whatever.
Not to my knowledge.
It's cool.
Ryan, man. Yeah, it's weird because it's like the guy who owns the Sidebar now is like he's a dude I've known from the punk scene forever, and I also knew him from playing Magic together. But it's just there's some amount of a crossover, but it's like the punk scene in Baltimore is kind of reserved at this point for house shows at best. In fact, punk in general has. And I attribute this a lot to the internet and the progressing or the social progression of society in general, is that punk is kind of it's not really as needed as it once was. It used to be needed to try to force through major change in society. I guess that would be the goal. I guess everyone had just ended up just getting drunk or whatever. But like, now it's more like, I mean, I don't know. When I was in high school, people would laugh at you if you said to recycle. And so it was like the fact that we've come pretty far in our I guess social politics in America from there, that it's like most like the hardcore punk ethics is been tossed to the wayside, because it's like, oh, we don't really need that anymore if we're all just generally social conscious people.
Wow, that's you're one of the few people I've encountered that will admit that things are getting better socially in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody else thinks everything's going to shit and we're all going to die in 2 years.
Well, environmentally probably, but we're all going to feel.
I mean,
really
I think,
yeah,
slowly but surely, I think things are definitely getting better, and I think the fact that there's so many people, crying out that it's the end of the world and everything's messed up is just proof that there is these last dying explosions of hate and devolution.
Ryan lives in North Carolina.
Wow, 2 of you.
He has to deal with it a lot more.
Man,
yeah,
3 people that actually think the world is getting better. This rarely ever happens.
I mean, a couple of weeks ago, gay marriage is legal, and now we can just call it marriage. Yeah. And people are realizing the Confederate flag is a piece of shit. I wonder
it's
if
always
toilet
disturbing.
Paper oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I really want to hear where you're going with that.
I said, I wonder if sale of toilet paper, Confederate flag toilet paper, has gone up in the past.
I'm sure it's booming. Right now, if you're in the Confederate flag toilet paper market, it's a seller's market right now.
Making money, man. Can bank.
No, my dream column that I keep pitching and nobody wants is called "You Can Relax," and it's about how the world is getting better and how we're living in like a pretty miraculous age, but the news kind of makes us feel like we're not.
Yeah.
And it's weird to find people that actually believe that. I feel like it's like an uphill battle when I try to explain to people that we're at the most peaceful era in human history.
Are these younger people you're trying to explain that to?
It's anybody who will listen to me, and it's very few.
I think a lot of it has to do with the media and the way we digest any sort of information. It has to have the element of sensationalism to it.
Yeah, shock and all blood and guts.
Yeah, but no one. When has there been a really interesting news story about someone saving lives or creating a new technology? Yeah. I have to find out about how Elon Musk is saving the world from his Twitter account. Right. Rarely is it covered on major news networks.
Yeah. As of 2013, AIDS no longer shortens your lifespan.
That's
that?
No.
We've never heard anything about that.
And there's something about Cuba. They have a cure for lung cancer or something that they're working on.
I don't know. I haven't heard about that.
It's called Fine Cuban Cigars.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense that they would be working on the cure for that.
I found that, and this is all based on me just interacting with people through like playing in a band that appeals to a younger audience. Is like, so I could be just describing a small subculture, but I think I'm describing all of the youth. But I've noticed that there's a stark dichotomy between two groups of younger people, like the quote-unquote selfie generation.
Okay.
I would say on one side you have the I just want to party all the time, like life is a big party. And then you have the other side, which is the everything is going to shit and we're all going to die and we should all be offended over everything and everything is wonderful. And I think both of those are kind of luxury problems to have. And I guess I want to be offended about everything versus the everything is a party. And I think a lot of that comes from not having any national tragedy in their time. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that on my generation, like 5 years older and 5 years younger, because I was I was 15, 16 when September 11th happened, there's definitely that slice of generation where it shocks you to your core, and it definitely had a major, major impact on how we see ourselves and our country and all of that. I think that people who I'm at my shut up, stupid dog. I'm at my in-laws' house, and last night my wife's younger brother had some friends over, and they mentioned something about, oh yeah, we gotta go. We need to go visit the September 11th memorial on September 10th in the evening because it's gonna be crowded on the actual 11th. Like that's how people plan Valentine's Day dinners, like to avoid the rush, like that kind of thing where I just think it didn't mean as much in the sense of how it shapes your sense of safety and security, in that it was just like, well, it happened when I was so young. It didn't really affect me the same way. And I think I think if we had another like national tragedy, then that generation of youth would kind of come to a center of that. Am I full of shit? I have no idea.
Always.
Well,
Erwin, oh my god, I love that sound every time.
I'm sorry, I have to get in the mood.
Erwin, you didn't even really hear what I said. Am I full of shit? Just
that part, yeah. But the rest of that part, you probably could be correct and shit, yeah?
It's fair. All right, sorry. Mike, were you going to say something?
No. Just hello, Erwin.
What's up, Mike? Nice to meet you.
How's it going, man?
You too.
Mike's a comic from Baltimore. Erwin are you in LA? I always forget exactly where you're at.
I'm in P-Town, the donut hole of LA.
Is it I forget, is it a neighborhood that I could safely walk through?
Looking like you do, yeah.
Oh,
but,
with my last name, maybe?
Yeah. With your just say you're a Navarro and you'll be okay.
How about Ryan? Well, how would Ryan fare?
Ryan will feel better than you, actually.
Damn.
Really?
Like over here, they're scared of white people.
Oh man. All right. Well then, okay, Mike. Then your complexion is fine. I'm ready. That's always interesting. All right. So, all right, sweet. Well, Erwin, what's the most interesting thing in your life right now?
Right now, I actually have a show going on tonight, and I've been doing background acting. That's pretty much it. And I did background acting for Black Jesus the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a show called Black Jesus.
Well, yeah. Any further detail? Did they not give you a script?
Well, ironically is a guy that believes that he's Jesus in Compton.
Nice.
It's from the creators of the Boondocks.
Cool. Is it animated or no?
Nah, it's full action. Charlie Murphy, John Witherspoon.
Nice.
I would love to see some. Yeah, I did background acting for his cartoon. I just stood there in the room.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I'm very animated though. I am animated.
You are. Dude, but this is what's so cool is like every time I have like I guess at this point you're all like the regulars on this podcast. It's like the first time I had everybody on, it's like, yeah, I do a couple open mics, and the next time it's like I'm doing more mics, I'm featuring, I'm background acting, and then like I'm auditioning for stuff. Like you guys are killing it.
You might not have to worry about that with me.
Well, you maybe for Veep. Can you audition for Veep? I'm trying to think what else they film near Baltimore.
Yeah, I guess so. If I wanted to.
You could film the riots. I mean,
Yeah,
I can audition for the riots.
Yeah, you can always audition for the riots and stuff, you know, like throw some shit, record it, you never know.
I could try to be that burning cars sidekick.
The riots, the musical.
You could be
I wonder how much stock in CVS went up after that.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, CVS went up all right. Yeah, dude. Oh, they arrested one of the arsonists recently from the CVS fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna. So, Michael, what was your experience like during the riots? Were you in town?
Yeah. I was here in my house. You know, my mom texting me every 5 minutes. But it was fine. There was nothing around my area, so it really wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was going to be. I think there's no deaths, thankfully.
Yeah, that was insane. When I read that the next morning, I was like, "Well, that's amazing. That's the first." That's
right.
Like that was probably less deaths than any random night in Baltimore, just in general.
Yeah. There's generally a death every 2 days in Baltimore, which is actually way down from 20 years ago when it was 2 deaths a day.
Yeah. That's Yeah, in high school, going to the punk venues in Baltimore, like Auto Bar, Charm City Art Space, and Sidebar, was like terrifying. Like it was actually dangerous. And now I'm just like, it's nothing. It's unbelievable.
I wouldn't say it's nothing. I mean, somebody did just get stabbed to death outside of Auto Bar.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, that was. Yeah, that could have. To be fair, though, that could have happened at any bar with some drunken asshole.
Yeah, I mean, that was a random thing, but it's still. I mean, the city is safer, but it's still not. You know, you still got to be pretty careful.
Yeah.
Nowhere's safer, man. Nowhere is safer.
I think Ryan's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Ryan is not safe. Ryan be doing paddle surfing and stuff like that. Ryan is not safe.
Well, like, just because like general white activities.
No, because the sharks, man.
Sharks, man.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna die from paddle poke.
So interesting fact. So I don't think there have been any deaths in all of the shark attacks we've had, but in I believe it was in Florida, a girl, a 5-year-old girl, was boating with her family and was killed by a jumping sturgeon.
Oh,
jumped out of the water, and I guess
it's terrifying.
Did she catch it, or like?
I think it caught her.
Did it go down her
Pretty
throat?
sure it caught her.
Oh my god. Well, listen, we can't joke about these kind of things because I have a kid now.
Just don't go boating in Florida.
I have a sturgeon now, so.
You guys, this is sturgeons are a trigger for me, and
what is a sturgeon? I'm picturing
the singer of Leftover Correct.
Apparently, it can be up to like 8 feet long. I was reading on that NBC article.
Well, what is it?
A fish.
It's a fish. A smelly fish.
It's a fish. It's a jumping
like
fish.
a tuna?
Sure, like a tuna is a fish. It's got scales and gills and shit.
No, I mean, like, what's a sturgeon? How does it look? Like, I know fish look like something, but like, you know, like a swordfish.
Does it just look like your classic fish?
Like, how big is this fish?
It looks like a classic. If you Google image search, man, it's not hard.
I can't, because my computer will explode if I try to do anything else.
Yeah, mine too. I tried doing that just now, see if I could get a link. But
I actually have like a really severe fish phobia.
Really?
I'm reluctant to say this to other comedians.
You actually have a trigger for sturgeons. Go on.
I have a no joke serious phobia of fish, like a clinical disorder.
Was there a childhood incident or?
No, I don't think so. I don't know why it exists. It might be because I don't know. I have no
Did
idea.
a sturgeon jump into your boat when you were 5?
Not that I recall.
That would, if so, that'd be a weird coincidence. I'm just
like, that happened to me too.
Was there one of those talking mounted bass things in your house growing up, and it just started insulting you?
No, those didn't exist when I was a child, unfortunately.
It just pauses halfway through its turn, just Michael.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so what? So okay, what's the worst that's gonna happen if you tell your comedian friends about your fear of fish?
What's the worst that would happen? Yeah. They'll start fucking with me with fish. They'll start putting fish. I don't want to give out any suggestions for what they could do, because I don't want to help in this process that I know is inevitable. But I do. I let it leak once at a restaurant that I worked at with some other jokers, and so of course they had to start putting all the fish heads in the.
Well, don't work at a seafood restaurant then.
It wasn't a seafood restaurant. It wasn't. It was just like a fine dining, and a fish would fucking show up every now and again. And of course they'd have to put the corpse. No, absolutely not.
You don't eat fish.
It's weird because it's both a repulsion and a fear. Like if I look at a fish, it'll make my heart beat and me breathe really heavy. But also like the smell and the idea of the taste of fish makes me want to vomit.
I have a fish phobia too, but it's the band, and like I don't want any of that shit near me.
Yeah, I can't stand the smell of that either.
I can't smell the smell of a fish concert myself personally. It's very dirty.
Just no showers. No showers.
Just patchouli on. I dated someone many years ago, and there was some smell involved. Nothing like too graphic. I'm just a general smell, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And
that's what she said.
Oh my god, damn it! So I comment a mile away. Nothing. All right,
you couldn't put your finger on it without your finger smelling.
Yeah, but eventually, after I realized that it was, well, didn't realize, I learned that was, in fact, the smell of patchouli oil. And and I was like, oh my god! Just every early Patton Oswalt joke now makes sense. I get it. It is the worst.
When I was in early high school, before I knew what marijuana smelled like, I thought that was the smell of marijuana.
Really?
Yeah, for the longest time.
Oh hell no, Michael!
Hell no.
Oh man, I
know now.
All that patchouli and all this other shit, but you brought marijuana into this. Now this just got personal.
Say what you will about my child, but if you talk about marijuana,
yeah, man, like you could go adopt my kid, go put him in a boat, let a fish land on him, but don't talk about marijuana.
Just put him in a tank full of surgeon, but keep marijuana out of this.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I always thought that, there was that marijuana had this specific smell, but it was actually just the or whatever, like cologne or perfume that people would spray in their cars to like get rid of the scent. And that's all.
Oh, really? So you had a similar experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to smell so good when I worked at a regular job.
Because you had to.
I used to like always spray cologne, and it was like, damn, Erwin, you've been putting on that good cologne all the time, huh? I have no choice. Can you believe that gay marriage got legalized before weed?
In California, of all places.
In all places. What are you talking about?
I'd like to think, though, if weed were legalized earlier, gay marriage would have been legalized earlier
forgot,
too.
huh?
No. I think if when weed becomes legal, I think we'll have a nice couple of decisions coming through. People aren't so angry.
Heart.
Yeah, they'll just be a little bit more chilled out. And
well, that's
less,
Well, I think I not to make anything seriously on this podcast, but I think that that's an economic thing. There's no major like economic stranglehold issue with legalizing gay marriage. That ends up just being a societal decision. But there are a lot of lobbying groups for people who their drug is better than weed, so like alcohol or whatever. Plus, it just has a lot of other ramifications in the current ecosystem of the economy, and so it's. Yeah, I don't know why I have to say, and so it's. I already made my goddamn point. Just stop talking.
I don't know, because every time I drink, I feel like doing shit. I'd be like, yeah, let's do that shit. Every time I smoke weed, I feel like, can we do it later?
Can we do it? Maybe tomorrow.
That's how I was too. I was always scared of doing anything when I was stoned.
Yeah, like I don't see like it would lower the crime rate, like somebody wants to go rob
everybody would stay inside and play video
somebody
games.
wants to rob you, they smoke a blunt, they'll be like, you know what, let's just rob Ryan tomorrow.
I said that every day when Ryan was in my band. I'll rob him tomorrow.
You guys had a band together?
Hell yeah, we did.
Who played drums?
Nobody. It was an electronic drum kit.
Nice.
It was a
no drummer.
It was a hip-hop, indie rock, punk rock, alt-rock band.
Now I can see why you guys made it.
Oh, yeah. Right. Which, it's something that, like, had we been doing it, because we did it from, 2006 to 2008, I think?
Something like that.
7 and 8. And,
had you not sucked at singing, we probably would have made it.
Well, our MC quit, and I had to step up. Well, no, because if we had done it, started it 4 or 5 years ago.
You became Drake?
Basically. I can't, no.
Licking Moody.
Licking Buddy?
What the hell happened there? Was there a gunshot? Did you just Bud Dwyer this podcast?
Well, so had we started the band later, it wouldn't have been seen as some weird-ass genre, and we could have done it as poorly as we wanted to. Have you heard some of the rock rap and, the indie hip-hop stuff? A lot of it's garbage, but it's interesting, so people like it. And we were not fortunate enough to be a college band while hipsters were an extremely popular subculture. Had we, hipsters would have loved the shit out of us, especially with our original MC, because of his the diversity that he brought to the group.
Well, he was black?
Ish. No, well, half. Yeah.
It's like diversity. 3 white guys and a black guy. That's diversity.
4 white guys and a black guy.
Half white. Was white.
4.5 white guys.
And he was,
sounds like.
And 4.5, and a half a black guy. Wait, you're a half? Wait, that's too much.
No, that's what hipsters like. I'm not saying that that's my
Hipsters only like half black people.
Hipsters like I don't know, Mike.
They don't like full breeds.
I see what?
You know a little bit about hipsters.
I minored in hipsterism in college.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, that they're very big fans of diversity, but not real diversity in any kind of cultural experience. They just
what do you mean by real diversity? Like they're not going to like snake handling church shows in West Virginia.
No, I meant I guess. I've never heard of that.
That was really specific.
Yeah.
Sounds like a band name.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean it's someone who would never listen to jazz but talk about
yeah, like you own you. Okay, I know what you're saying. Like we want to own the two. We have Kind of Blue in the CD collection, and that Johnny Cash album with the Nine Inch Nails song on it, and that's diversity.
And when I tell hipsters like, oh, I love Kind of Blue, that's a great record. I've learned most of it on bass. Do you want to jam sometime? Like, well, no, this banjo is just for show, and I've never actually listened to the record.
Yeah.
I don't even own a record player. Actually, I own a record player, but I've never put a record on it, per se.
Yeah, I think I was kind of like that in my 20s. You guys still there? I can't see anything.
We're there, and I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, don't we all kind of go through that period in our 20s where, we want to be cool and look like we listen to weird music that nobody else likes, so we get the most easily digestible version of that?
Oh, it's called working at a radio station for 4 years in college.
Yeah, me and I did that too.
Dude, I used to listen to underground hip-hop when I was in my 20s a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
You kind of sound
Aesop
like
Rock.
Immortal Technique with your inflection.
Oh, I used to love Immortal Technique, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What about Aesop?
But I think everybody was into underground hip-hop at one point.
Rock Against Bush, dog.
It's a very mid-2000s thing.
Yeah.
I always wondered why, I listened to those artists. I actually liked a fair amount of Immortal Technique stuff. Those beats were really on point. But, I'd listen to, say, Sage Francis, and he'd have one song that was amazing. Then I listen to the rest of the record and be like, why do I hate the rest of this? I should like this. I'm supposed to like this. And then years later I'd be like, oh, it wasn't very good art. I just agreed with what he was saying.
Right, yeah. You try real hard. You listen to the CD again and again. You tell yourself you like it. But really you just want to put on your...
you want that to be a part of your personality. You don't actually get the aesthetic of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
That's true. That is so true.
I wonder, does anybody do you guys think there are any comics like that where it's like you like them or you imagine they're pretty popular based on the message that they have, but they're not necessarily that funny?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
You agree with his message?
Yeah, I agree that he's short.
Yeah.
Erwin, every time I talk about a comic I like...
Controversial stance to have.
You should think Kevin Hart is short? No, I'll stand by that. Dude,
this podcast is getting edgy.
Yeah, right. Real rough stuff. The last...
If we don't talk shit about famous people, nobody will hear this. So we gotta talk shit about at least one or two famous people, and they're gonna be like, Kevin Hart, did you hear about this no-name comedian, what he said about you?
It'll become like a rap beef.
Yeah, it's like this no-name comedian just talk shit about Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
I have a new bit called... I have a whole bit called How to Rob Famous Comedians.
Without burning.
It's like 50 Cent made his name by making a song called How to Rob, and he just talks shit about every rapper.
Is it called the Mencia technique?
Is that what he did?
Not literally rob, as in steal jokes. He means like.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I should have thought this through.
You should listen. That's why we're here. If this is not a joke workshop, I don't know what it is.
Okay, good.
You just had every comedian just about to go to Baltimore right now. He's like, oh, he's gonna steal my jokes.
Yeah. Well, every time I talk about a comedian, Erwin just shits all over it, and it's usually as Erwin's showing up late, he'll just catch the last and be like, yeah, Bill Burr, and be like, well, that guy.
I don't like comedians.
I know. We were talking about that last week. He just hates comedians. Mike, do you like comedians?
Yes and no. I wouldn't say that that's a. I wouldn't say that that's a group that I could just say I don't like or like. I like some and don't like others.
Everyone didn't stick around to hear the answer. Listen, I got stuff to do.
No, I could hear him.
I know. I'm just being a. Well, you know how I work. I just talk shit and then hope that spurs some kind of conversation. Well, Erwin, last week, I want to get a follow-up. Ryan, you weren't here last week, and Mike, you haven't been on one of the group ones before. Erwin, I guess some time ago, had started up a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe to pay his back child support.
Jesus.
And you're making it our podcast mission to fund that Kickstarter.
Wow.
Because
Erwin, what are the benefits? What are the different price tiers?
I need to put that. I need to add that. That's why I haven't posted it up.
We actually
benefits.
We actually figured all that out last week.
Okay.
We're gonna have like I think it was like Erwin, you said it was like $10 or something. Get you a picture of you and your kid.
Yeah, me and then $20. Me and him, like you get a dirty shirt of his and shit.
And we're gonna get posters made. And Rob, we actually found, who's a regular on the podcast. He has a lot of wall space behind where he films his part of the podcast, and he does multiple podcasts. And he said he's willing to donate advertising space on his wall for any poster you choose.
Wow. You're not a little worried about the type of people you'll attract giving away dirty children's garments?
It's a Pediacast, so
yeah.
I think it's already been established. The target market is going after.
Kids.
I swear to God, this is like taming, like lion taming. I can't keep you from going to these subjects. So I was hoping Brad would be on here so I could, whatever, I can bring this up anytime. It's my fucking podcast. I can bring it up on multiple episodes. So, I know you guys aren't.
But yeah, I will definitely send you that link.
Yeah, please do. I really want to. I really want to make this thing happen for you and for your. You know what? For your kid. I really believe in him, her, whoever.
You know what? It's not even for my kid. It's for my baby mama. Like, you think that my kid is gonna enjoy any of that money?
Listen, that's hilarious. You know the tax implications would fuck you worse than just not paying it, probably, if you have a good relationship with your baby mama.
No, actually, not. I tried everything. I got lost for words right there for a second. It's like, it's a really, like, there's no books about this shit out here, man. Like, I don't know how to do this shit, to be honest with you.
Do
and
what?
There's, like, be a parent and be a co-parent. Being a parent is easy. Being a co-parent, when that co-parent is crazy, I'm not talking about me.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not easy, man. It's like dealing with somebody that's bipolar. You know, it's not easy. It's like somebody that, think about it, like you liking that band Fish. Like, you really, really, really want to like it, but you can't stand the smell.
No,
I just disappeared there for a minute. I don't know what happened, but I'm back.
That's okay. That's okay. We missed you a little bit.
I don't think anyone noticed at all.
No, we did. We're actually.
Wait, who are you again?
Yeah,
Nobody.
People drop off, like, from the internet complications or whatever, to the point where anyone who's done this podcast more than like twice knows to just pretend it didn't happen and just keep on going. Well, so I know none of you guys really do, or I don't know how deep into the behind the scenes of music you are, but one thing I wanted to bring up.
Bro, I'm so deep.
Yeah, right. I've
seen the Motley Crue behind the music at least 12 times.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Well, my band just won one of those Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands things to play Warped Tour,
nice.
and so
Really, that's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks. But what's so weird about it is, like, the first time we did it was like 3 years ago, and we campaigned a little bit, and we did okay, but like we probably weren't ever even considered for it. The second year, which was last year, we were like, you know what? We have this record coming out. We've got new material. We just got this tour behind us, and we're ramping up for this huge year, and we had our PR people working on all this shit. And so anyway, we were like, well, playing Warped Tour for a date would be really good for us, for both cred and exposure, and it could really help us on our on-ramp to releasing this record. So we busted our ass to like share the page, to promote, to get people to vote, to do all that stuff. And then we were in the top like 10 of like whatever I guess system they used to rank the bands, and we didn't end up getting picked. And some of the bands that got picked were, I don't know, ones that clearly used bots to get ahead in the ratings, and then one band who was so far below everybody, you were like, how did they even get picked, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So it was such a bummer where it was like, you know what, fuck it, there's no point. We didn't even set up a page this year. They automatically renewed our page. We posted it once on the day that the site went live, like 3 months ago, and then last week I get a text from our singer. We hadn't even thought about it. And he's a text from our singer that goes, holy shit, we're playing Warped Tour. And my response was, fuck you, no we're not. We're not. That's just happening. And sure enough, like they picked us. We were like 60 bands down on the list, and they picked us. And it just goes to show me this is the most random, stupid business that ever exists. Like that's probably
it's not so random if you really think about it, though.
I think the more I think about it, the less sense it makes. Like,
it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because you put 3 years into it. It's not just like they do know that.
Yeah,
they've been running they've been running the event. They've been seeing your work. You've been putting work into it. It's like there's no such thing as overnight success. There's no such thing. Put a lot of work into it before you got picked.
And I'm refusing to let myself think that, because then I have to be like, well, do we actually have a shot? Should I start giving a shit again? Should I like let myself get crushed for the millionth fucking time in this stupid business?
But it sounds like it's like kind of
just
a lottery,
don't give a shit.
but you did the work to qualify for that lottery.
Yeah. Well, that actually what's funny is it parallels to something that I always talk about with promoting music, and I guess comedy too, was, and Mike, I actually talked to you about this in our podcast before, where I'd go to big concerts of like national acts and pass out like 500 download cards, and I'd only end up getting a couple people who checked out the music. So I always say that's a bad strategy. However, it's still something you need to do, because even if people don't check out your music, that's how people hear about your band name. And so, and there's something that's very common that I've heard successful people say in both music and comedy, where it takes about 3 to 5 times of someone seeing your name or your band name or your act name, whatever it is, before they actually check it out. And so it's like that's how you kick out that first round of having everyone see your name. So, Erwin, you're probably right. I don't think that they actually recognized how much work that we did, because I think it's interns that choose the bands that they play to the people who actually decide to go on the stage. And they have to pick 45 stages every summer, so I don't think that they really would remember that kind of thing. However, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe because of all the work that we've been doing in the contest and out of the contest, that when they see the band name Heavyweights, they stop to go, oh, I don't know from where, but I've heard that name. And I think that's more hard work. But it was just so validating to like have, because it was based on the songs. We weren't ranked very highly. And it was just validating to go, oh, somebody in the business thinks I can write a song. Thank fucking Christ. But like, I don't know, and that's it parallels to what I hear a lot of successful comics say, which was that you know, brain fart, brain fart, brain fart. God damn it, son of a bitch, on a roll, taking you down a stroll through the woods, and I got lost.
Shitting all over us.
Yeah, sorry about that. I know what it is. It's that by the time you actually get something good, you don't emotionally connect to it because you've been so crushed so many times. But to take it as a positive, that's a sign that you're actually ready for it. Because if I had gotten this last year, I'd be still, like, a week later jumping with joy, excited and whatever. Right. That usually means that you're not ready for it. If you're not bored to death of playing concerts because you've done it so many times and you know exactly, I don't know, like, or maybe with a comedy set, you've told the joke so many times that even if you kill, it doesn't really excite you anymore because you know that how good the joke is and you're just so tired of doing it. That's usually a sign that you're actually ready.
Actually, what? That's not true, because, like, if you perform something, not everybody's gonna receive it the same way. And if you go, like, let's say if you go perform this song to a whole new audience, and that whole new audience likes it, it's gonna feel so much different than the people that actually know about the song. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you never get the same reaction twice, man.
And that's,
Never.
I guess that's fair, but the problem is, like, well, with bands, the hard thing with audience reaction is that you can't really tell based on audience
Until it's
reaction
over.
unless they just hated you. Well, even when it's over, everybody always claps. Everybody always goes woo. Like, it's just proper etiquette to do that.
You'll know because you will always have that one or two people that come up to you afterwards and be like, I really enjoyed that song. How could I like? You always have one of those two people. No matter where you perform, if you're good, you're gonna have one or two people that are gonna like you, and one is better than none.
Yeah, I guess
the power of one is bigger than none.
I guess I'm more thinking about the getting bored that comes from doing repetitive behavior. And
yeah, that's boring.
That's kind of what I mean. Yeah, sure, you get the excitement from the audience pop, but I mean, what I'm saying is, like, if I was so overjoyed about getting this opportunity, that usually means I'm not ready for it. That means I think it's a lot bigger than it is, because it's not a big break. It's just a really cool thing. And so it's like, once you actually realize it for what it is, then I think you're ready for it. And I don't think I would have been ready for it last year. I would have thought it meant a lot more than it actually did.
It's like dating a girl, and once you date a lot of girls, and then you date this one girl you've been wanting to date, you're like, okay,
yeah,
I don't see the big deal.
Yes, thank you. That's what I'm getting for.
It doesn't make no sense.
Now, if they called us up and said, we want you to play the whole tour, then you lose your mind, and it'd be like, and then the next thought is like, I'm totally not ready for this. Like, we have not been prepared to do something like that. Everyone always thinks they want these great opportunities, but they don't realize how unprepared they are to actually receive them. I think,
really?
Anyway. I don't know.
What is it that a band would be unprepared for in a situation like that?
The dynamics of working with each other on the road for that long, the dynamics of playing for that kind of size audience on those kind of stages with that kind of amount of setup equipment and setup time, the maintaining yourself, whether that's with drinking or food or whatever it is on the road or with around any kind of temptation. Honestly, being able to, if you haven't been touring like crazy, it's unlikely that you play as tight as you would need to play to actually like success. Like, if you ever watch, once you actually start like playing a lot of shows, you start to see the difference between the bands you're playing with, the headlining bands you're playing with, and then when you go to a bigger show and you see those bands, and you're like, even the openers, everything is so perfect. From the look to the movement to the playing, it's unbelievable.
They're synchronized.
How room there is for mistakes, and you just, and that didn't necessarily used to be how it is. Now it very much is the way that it is. I don't know. It's kind of crazy to see how talented people have to be just to be mediocre, and you kind of realize, oh, I haven't been touring for 3 years. And that means we haven't been playing live nearly as much as these other bands. So there's no way that you're prepared to follow or to open for some of those other acts. You may think you are. Your songs may be great. The CD may be amazing. But if you don't have that same amount of experience, it's just, even intangibles, like, this is not intangible, but yeah, go on. Sorry.
I think that sometimes, like, what you do, you put too much thought into things.
Yeah, might be.
And a lot of things in life and a lot of things that people do have nothing to do with experience or whatnot. It's about, like, the cream will rise to the top no matter what you do. Like, LeBron James came into the league like a superstar, and players have been playing in the league for 15 years. They've been working out.
Objective. You can't. That's more objective,
No,
though. It can't be like he misses a 3-pointer and he's like, you didn't get what I was going for.
But I gave you
It's
like
the
I
points
listened to
that
your
don't
story
get scored.
No, but what I'm saying is that is giving yourself a chance. It's like putting yourself in a race. You don't know what spot you're gonna come out. This year you didn't even give yourself a chance, and you were 60 and you got picked. It's just like your odds, like the odds of anything is the odds. You just have to throw your name in the race. You never know about anything until you do it. It's like you might think that you're not as good as those bands, but maybe your band is better. But because you're too scared of going on stage because they've been touring for years, it doesn't make it any better. It's like dating older women. Why do you think older women like to date younger men? It's because they have that energy and enthusiasm, and they could get it up.
You make a lot of good points. And I want to clarify, if given any of those opportunities, of course I'd take them. But I think that what you're saying is true. It's less likely to happen. It's just the odds. Like you said, the odds are the odds. And yeah, you may have the odds, or not the odds. You may have a small chance to, like, holy shit, maybe you're a lot better than you think you are. Maybe you can just go on stage and everybody's going to go, nope, it's just as fine. It's just as good, if not better, than all these other bands. I just think that for the majority of artists, the opportunities you get, no,
Or limited.
It's all random. It's all random. There's nothing we can do. We're all just floating around. We're all spinning around on a rock that's spinning around a bunch of other rocks that are also spinning.
Eric, God is dead and hell is other people.
All right, and with that, I think it's time for plugs.
Fuck.
Now that
leave it up to Ryan to say some depressing shit like that.
No, I think now that we've all recognized our insignificance, it's time to tell everyone where you can follow us on Twitter, where you can see more of our insignificance that means the world to us. So, Ryan, where can we find you on Twitter, and do you have any plugs?
On the computer.
Yeah.
What was that? No, explain that reaction. What was going through your mind that led to that reaction? I'm curious.
Me?
The plugs?
Your reaction. What were you reacting to just with the disgust?
When he said the plugs. Because he's like, and pull out your plugs if you have any.
Gotcha. Okay, so
you're thinking of butt plugs.
You're delayed in your reaction. All right.
He's talking about butt plugs.
Hey guys, this is an Eric Tries Too Hard podcast.
All right, everybody, take out your butt plug.
Josh Duggar's on the next episode, right?
I don't know who that is, but yeah.
Oh, he'd love to be on the Pedialyte podcast.
Oh my god. I can't control it. All right.
Pediacast. Sorry, I fucked that one up.
Follow you at Brian Sweeney.
Brian Sweeney.
He is kind of a Pedialyte. Like, he's not quite a...
He hasn't made it to master status. He has fewer calories.
Next time I'm going to do one
kind
of these...
Kind of a diet pedia, really.
Next time I do an episode with a group, I'm going to, like, do it with a shadow over my face and voice modulation.
The Charlie Brown's parents?
Yeah. All right, Ryan, where can we find you on Twitter?
I think Ryan T. Sweeney is my handle. I think. I don't know.
You need to change it to Ryan's Weenie. That would be so fantastic.
Yeah,
I know you've heard that joke so many times.
If I had a shot for every time you said that, I'd be well vaccinated.
All right, Jenny McCarthy. Michael, give me any plugs you got.
Follow me on Twitter at Mike Moran Wood, WOULD, and listen to the Digression Sessions, and just watch like a video or two of mine online, please. There's a video of Michael Ian Black cursing me out. Just check that out, so I look cool.
All right, sweet. All right, and Erwin, give us your plugs.
Just Google me. I'm Erwin Portillo.
All right, sweet. That's actually a very good plan. Just Google. All right, well, this has been the Eric Tries Too Hard podcast. We're going to have some big-ish news coming up in the next month or two, right, Ryan?
Sure.
Yeah, we got shit going on.
Eric,
All right, cool.
Do you know who Michael Che is?
Of course I know who Michael Che is.
Yeah. He sent me an angry letter.
Okay, well, we're going to extend this podcast a couple minutes. What happened?
You know when he barely came out in SNL and everybody was like, "Oh, congratulations!"
Yeah.
So so we were friends on Facebook. I don't know how, but we were, and he posted up like saying Chris Rock was gonna come out on SNL hosting and stuff, and Prince was gonna like perform, and I was like, I put a comment. I was like, "How the hell did you get the oldest ex to come out of the SNL?" It's like a retirement comment right there. You know? And so he deleted me from his friends and all this other stuff. And I wrote him. I was like, "Dude, you can't take a joke." And he's like, "I only like taking jokes from people that I know personally or have known for a long time. People that I've really met, I won't take jokes from, stuff like that from." I was like, damn. How the hell did you make it in the show business with that attitude, you know?
Yeah, really.
Was that the end of the communique?
No, we went back and forth. I was like, dude, you need a better attitude. I understand you made it, but you need a better attitude. But good luck in your career and stuff. And he's like, thank you, but no thank you. I was like, oh, you welcome,
Well,
but not.
yeah, you can't really do a you're welcome, but no, you're welcome. You're
Sorry,
welcome,
sorry.
but unwelcome.
Yeah, I just didn't like. He's a drunk, by the way, but.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Oh man, this is gonna start. We're starting a West Coast East Coast feud here.
I don't know if I forget if
Any artists want to be an artist? Don't worry about the executive producer.
No, I love that.
Just
don't
send me
1995.
Just don't send me angry emails, man.
I was gonna ask if you had anything to say to him, but okay, don't send me angry emails.
No, I'm cool with him.
That's your catchphrase.
Don't send me.
He's a funny guy. It's just I think if you're in the business of any show business, do not take anything personal. People are gonna have their opinions. Just don't take shit personal. Like if I was at his desk doing the weekly update, I'll be kissing heaven and be like, where's my next gig coming? I wouldn't be worried about like some amateur comedian what he thinks.
Right.
So just don't give people power that don't deserve it. He gave me a lot of power because now I'm talking about it, you know?
Yeah.
That's fair. That's actually really good. And I like how in the end of your story you're like you basically you're like you're admitting that you're the villain.
I'm the villain?
No, I'm just the moral is like, listen, man, it's like you're like his best friend. Like, listen, you can't listen to all these haters. You gotta just shut them out. People like me, you can't listen to people like me. You gotta stand up to people like me.
Isn't that like Samuel Jackson in Unbreakable?
I guess I don't watch that show. No,
I don't own that album.
No,
shut up, Brian.
I've heard of them.
You're the worst. You're the worst, Eric.
That's like when the school bully is like picking on like the nerd.
Have you
kid.
guys seen my shirt?
Yeah, I did. That's a great picture. Are we gonna get those if we donate to your Kickstarter?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That actually is really awesome.
And there's a back picture too.
Wow. Nice.
That's beautiful. See, marketing. He knows what he's doing. No, but it's like the bully in school who's picking on the nerd in front of all the other kids. Then when all the other kids are around, they're like, hey, man, I'm just trying to teach you hard life lessons. You got to stand up to people like me in this world. You're not going to get anywhere. All right, and on that, I'm going to end the podcast. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We'll get big news in the next month, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Deuces.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right.